We're taking a look at the radar picture over the past 12 hours. Not a lot of activity. Once you got past midnight, the boundary that was working its way through the area sort of got hung up a little bit, and maybe a few new showers forming to our south. A lot of us, our best chances for showers were 6, 7, 8 o'clock last night, and then the shower chances fizzled out. But the moisture is left behind still. As we go through the day today, the drier air takes over and we'll get rid of this moisture. But we've got some patchy fog to start our day in Tallahassee. We're at 65. We're at 65 in Valdosta. We're at 66 in Thomasville. We're hoping that breeze out of the northwest can pick up to help to clear us out a little bit too. Rainfall deficit is up over 9 inches on the year right now, so we could use a little bit more rain. I don't see any of it happening anytime soon. 88, by the way. The high temperature yesterday was kind of warm and kind of humid out there. A normal high is only supposed to be 82, and over the next couple of days, our afternoons might get just a little bit warmer than 82, but without the humidity, it's going to feel awfully nice outside. We're at 70 this morning at St. Mark's. We're at 57 in Blakely, so that's the temperature range, about 13 degrees. Most numbers someplace in the middle 60s. We have a bunch of visibility concerns. Many areas at a mile or less, a whole bunch at a quarter mile or less, so be careful out there. You know the vermin are lurking. Now keep checking these dew point temperatures across the southeast. As we see the 40s and 50s get a little closer to our corner of the country, we know the drier air is trying really hard to get here, and it finally should get here today. Big bubble of high pressure will take over behind this boundary that is moving through our area. Once that bubble of high pressure takes over, now we continue with the good stuff. It starts today, it lasts likely into the upcoming weekend when we get a little reinforcing push of more cooler and drier air. I don't think there'll be enough moisture set up in place ahead of this boundary to talk about any real shower chances, but we'll keep our eyes on it. Maybe a sprinkle in the forecast over the weekend. Futurecast will show as we get through the next couple of days. Likely going to have more sunshine and nothing else. The tropics quiet. There's a little bit of cloud cover down to parts of the southern Caribbean. We'll keep our eyes on it, but nothing to get excited about. Winds on the Gulf today, northwest 5 to 15. Your seas 1 to 3 feet. Here are those tide times. You can always double check at WCTV.tv. It's our webpage. We've got the low tides happening next. They'll get started just after 9 o'clock. 50s and 60s with that patchy fog. Let's call it mostly sunny, staying that way this afternoon, and less humid. Now, I still think we're going to see the temperatures climb into the lower and middle 80s, but it won't feel as sticky as it did yesterday. How about low 50s for tonight? Low 50s. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit more seasonable, a little bit more comfortable. It's all been worth the wait. We'll have good stuff to talk about for tomorrow and beyond. Finally, some fall-like weather, our fall-like weather, which is still awfully pleasant in the afternoon. We're not talking cold here. We're just going to talk about less humidity, more comfortable at night, the kind of nights you want to turn off the air conditioners and open up the windows.
Plenty of red on
today. Got real busy like that.
Look right back here, my goodness.
And that's just that's the second area. We've got a couple other ones to get to. Let's do it. We're talking strong thunderstorms, borderline severe. That's why the warnings are issued, because some of these are containing some of those damaging wind gusts. That could be 50 or 60 miles per hour in a brief second. And really what that can do is it can cause some issues with some trees, some power lines, and of course you get some heavy downpours in some of this. Of course, this is Tallahassee. This is central and southern Leon County. And this is moving fairly quickly to the east at about 35 miles per hour. As a matter of fact, if we zoom out a little bit and put some estimated times of arrival on there, you'll see that for Chairs and for Bauman, for Capps and Monticello, we're talking in the next half hour or so, we expect to see these cells moving in this direction. They likely won't be as strong as they were a little while ago, but they'll certainly bring some pretty significant rains and some of those stronger wind gusts. So areas through Tallahassee into Jefferson County, be ready. In the next hour, going to be real busy. We've got the same kind of weather going on in South Georgia, right around Thomasville now, up Highway 319, Highway 19, right where they sort of intersect, and along Highway 84. And if we do the same thing with some of those estimated times of arrival, we're seeing that Coolidge and Boston and Pavo and Quitman and Barney and Hayhira over the next hour. These are the areas we expect to see this little cluster of cells move towards. This batch is moving between 35 and 40 miles per hour, so moving very, very quickly, bringing some strong wind gusts with it, and really bringing some pretty heavy downpours. So if you don't need to be out there traveling in these areas, Highway 84, Mahan Drive, Interstate 10, now's a good time not to. Give it an hour and it'll be calming down at least a little bit. We do have another couple of warning boxes to our west, and as these continue to translate east, it's likely we see these warnings get extended or new ones fire up. And once we start getting some warnings, usually usually those lead to additional warnings throughout the afternoon. Of course, we'll be here. We'll be checking it out for you. We'll be breaking it down. Always find us on the Facebook and the Twitter. There'll be lots of updates there throughout the afternoon also. I expect this to be a pretty busy afternoon. Pop-up showers, pop-up storms, sort of hit and miss all over the place. And it'll be amazing to see how the temperatures vary where we get some of those showers and storms. In Valdosta, no showers, no storms. 87 and humid. It's 81 now in Thomasville. Temperatures dropped quite a bit in the last 15 minutes, down to 78 in Tallahassee with another thunderstorm still nearby. And that breeze, a little bit variable depending on which way it's spinning out of that thunderstorm. How about Bainbridge, where it's 90 right now, yet it's only 75 in Quincy. It's 77 in Moultrie, but it's 88 in Homerville. It's 86 in Perry, still 85 in Monticello. I bet after 1 o'clock that temperature drops about 10 degrees when the next round of showers moves through that area. Another very different view is going to be from the camera on St. George Island. Our friends at beachview.com. No storms down here. Starting to cook up a few of those puffy clouds, but it's been a real nice day near the beach. And it's just one of those setups when you deal with the scattered showers, these instability-driven rains, especially when you get a little extra energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere to trigger some of those stronger ones. And we see those little pockets of white building up. That's where we have the highest cloud tops, the most moisture, and the best chances for the most activity. Now we've got one of those weather ruts going on across the southeast that we get so common this time of the year. It gets warm, it gets humid, the threat for showers is there, and as long as we have that additional energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere, 2-3 days, we're going to continue with more of the same. That's what Futurecast will point out. The showers all over the place for this afternoon, and likely going to find another good round of showers tomorrow afternoon and again on Thursday afternoon. The difference will be by the time we get to Friday, that additional energy is gone, and once it's gone, we start to reduce those rain chances, and of course that means we crank up the heat. Hey, there isn't anything out there across the Atlantic to get excited about. All quiet on the tropical front. Winds on the Gulf today, west and southwest. Breezy enough, 12 to 22. There's a look at your tide times. You can always double check these, WCTV.tv. That's our webpage. Here we go with the forecast. Low 90s. We're going to go 50-50 on the rain chances. Not everybody's going to get the 90s, of course, because of the showers. Some spots won't get out of the 80s, but we're already seeing numbers that start with a 9 pop up on the map. Showers fizzle out once the sun sets. That's really the fuel to these thunderstorms. We'll fall back into the 70s. The muggies are here. This weather rut. This is June weather. And even when tomorrow starts July, this weather ain't going anywhere.